Sigma men have always been known as the mysterious and quiet ones in their social circles. Their mysteriousness makes many people wonder what makes them so different and why it's so hard to get close to them. They often seem unapproachable and shy, and they don't like to hang out with other people. This makes them even more mysterious. But why is that? Here are 8 reasons why. 1. They often spend time alone. Sigma males like to be alone and will often stop socializing or doing other things to think about their thoughts, feelings, and actions when no one else is around. This is why it can be hard for other people to get past what seems to be an impenetrable shell. They might seem like they don't want to talk to anyone who isn't in their inner circle, but this isn't true at all. Sigmas just use their time away to reset and recharge, often choosing to stay in rather than hang out with friends. This doesn't mean they don't like being around other people or having friends. When Sigma men finally decide to join in and be themselves, they can be very funny and even impress others with their knowledge or wit. Even though they may seem hard to understand because of how distant they are, this is just a sign of how serious they are about staying true to who they are. They have a lot of character, which makes them even more appealing to people who like to be around honest people. Even though Sigma males tend to avoid large groups of people, they can still make strong connections with people who care more about quality than quantity. All it takes is patience and respect for each other, which are things that Sigmas value in all parts of their lives. 2. They may seem intimidating. When they talk to people they don't know well, Sigma males can seem scary because they are smart and have a quiet confidence. A lot of people think they are arrogant, but that's not true. When it comes to conversations and relationships, they just like to keep things one-on-one, taking some time to get to know someone before being completely open. Sigmas won't hesitate to stop talking to people who don't respect their independence or try to control them in any way. They do this to protect themselves from any harm that might come their way. Even if this makes them seem rude or uninterested, they know it's best. They may also seem scary because they don't get scared when bad things happen. When faced with a problem, Sigmas are determined to figure out how to solve it instead of giving up. They are strong, determined, and driven, which makes them scary to many people, but also very admirable. In the end, Sigma men just want to be with someone who gets them and respects their need for independence. When they finally find this person, Sigmas can be very loyal and kind in return. They won't be afraid to talk to people they trust and share what they know and have done. The Sigma male is a rare breed, but if you give him enough time and respect, he can give you a lot in return. With patience and understanding, you can have a happy relationship with a Sigma. 3. They think too much. Sigma males are very independent thinkers who can't wait to find out what's inside their own heads. They often find themselves deep in thought, pondering questions about life, morality, and the universe. They are very interested in the world, and their thoughts are always changing, which often gives them new ideas. Sigmas can find it hard to connect with other people when they are deep in thought because they are so focused on their own thoughts. They will often seem quiet and inwardly focused. Don't take this as a sign that they don't care or aren't interested. They're just in their own heads. Sigma males talk about ideas that may be hard for some people to understand. For example, if sometimes it's better to live a normal life, or if we should all try to be better. For them, this kind of intellectual exploration is very rewarding and gives them a lot of ideas. This gives you a feeling of satisfaction that is hard for other people to understand. They are also curious, and they try to imagine what would happen in all kinds of situations. This helps them stay ahead of the curve in life, even if these ideas are still just in their heads or can't be done yet. In this way, getting lost in thought can be helpful if done with awareness and care. It gives Sigmas a chance to see how they compare to what others expect of them, while still appreciating the mysterious landscapes of their own minds. 4. They stay away from drama and bad people. Sigma men are known for not liking drama and being negative. They have a low tolerance for these things. They won't think twice about leaving situations that make them feel this way. People who want to avoid drama-filled situations often avoid people who bring others down, usually by focusing on what they don't have instead of making progress in their own lives. Sigmas don't want to waste their time on people who always have something bad to say. Instead, they'd rather spend their time with people who look for opportunities wherever they can. They know that you can't get through life without getting hurt, but this doesn't mean we should seek out pain that isn't necessary or let ourselves be pulled into someone else's negative spiral with no way out. That's why Sigma men run their own businesses. It's easy and dangerous to forget why we should stay away from people like that in the first place. 5. They don't need anyone else to agree with what they do. Sigma males usually put a lot of value on being independent and taking care of themselves. They often don't want to rely on other people to validate their actions in any situation. This could mean that they don't want to be like everyone else or depend on what other people think. Instead, they want to be independent and trust their own judgment in everything. Those who try to control them will find out quickly that it's not possible. Sigmas don't let outside forces change their minds. Instead, they stick to what they think is right. This can make them seem distant from the people around them, since they are less likely than most people to try to get attention or approval for the choices they make. This also keeps Sigmas safe from people they don't trust who might try to take advantage of them or hurt them. Those who want to connect with Sigma must first prove themselves before Sigma will do the same. This is a concept that many people find hard to understand because it is so exclusive. The fact that Sigma men don't need anyone else's approval makes them hard and interesting at the same time. They make all of their own decisions and try not to let what other people say affect them too much when forming their own opinions. Those who want to connect with them have to show that they are who they say they are, and show real interest before being accepted into the group, which is hard to do but very rewarding if you do. 6. They don't care about power and fame, they just live by their own rules. Sigma's men are proud of being unique and often don't care about popular opinion. Instead, they follow their own set of rules and values in their daily lives. This is why they don't want to try to get power or fame, since those things only satisfy their need to be liked by others instead of helping them find true happiness within themselves. Because of this, Sigmas can seem strange to people they don't know well, because they don't like to change for social norms if it goes against their core beliefs. They will always stand up for what they think is right, even if it goes against what most people think. This can make them look arrogant or stubborn to some people. Still, no one should ever underestimate a Sigma male's determination. Their constant pursuit of independence shows how important it is to stay true to who they are and not let outside influences change their sense of who they are. 7. They avoid small talk. These men like to talk about important things and don't have much time for small talk, which they find insincere and shallow. Instead of talking about things that don't matter, they would rather get to the point quickly and get to the heart of the matter so that both sides can learn more about each other. For Sigma men, a conversation is a way to share ideas, experiences, or ways of thinking. It's often a learning or informational experience, and they do it because they want to know more about the world around them. They will often get bored quickly of shallow conversations that don't teach them anything new or interesting. When you first meet a Sigma, it can be scary if you don't know how they act, especially if they start a conversation with a no-nonsense attitude. Even though this seems scary at first, it's just their way of cutting through the nonsense and getting to the point. This means that there are more direct conversations between two people, which, if done right, can be very helpful and educational. 8. They are extremely private individuals. Sigma men are very private and often don't like to talk about how they feel or what they think. People might think they are secretive because they are very picky about who they share certain parts of their lives with. This pickiness comes from a desire to keep yourself safe. They don't want their ideas, experiences, and points of view to be judged or misunderstood by people who might not fully understand them. Even when they talk to other people, they keep to themselves. Sigmas can be very friendly and enjoy deep conversations, but they don't usually share too much about themselves. They prefer to talk about the things at hand, and they don't often share deep personal information. This doesn't mean that Sigmas can't have meaningful relationships. In fact, the opposite is true. They just want to make sure that people who talk to them know and respect their need for privacy. If this is taken into account, there can be a lot of trust and understanding in these relationships. They don't like it when people ask them too many personal questions or are always on the lookout for people who might be trying to get information out of them. Usually, when this happens, they'll try to get away from the situation. They might leave quickly and without warning, or they might just stay away. Sigma males may not be the most open people, but once they trust you, they can be some of the most loyal and devoted friends you'll ever have. Those who really benefit from having a Sigma in their lives are the ones who know and respect their limits.